Hello, welcome to another Netflix series review. La Casa de Papel. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. It is a Spanish series. If you are a fan of heist movie, which I am, I love all heist movie. Something about robbing a bank is always fun to watch. If you are a fan of that kind of thriller, this might be a series for you. I enjoyed it. This series have dubbed English voice, but as always, I recommend you watch it in the original mother tongue language, which is Spanish, and then read the subtitle, because I watched part of the first episode in English and I felt that as always, the tone of the dub voice just feel very flat, and as always, I don't like it. I prefer to hear the original dialect and the lips matching the words instead of not matching. I'm definitely not familiar with any of the actors in this series, and overall I enjoyed this series. As I have done in the past few series, I avoid knowing how many episodes the show is going to be, because I don't want, because if you know the show have 8 episodes, you kind of figured out things quicker than say if you don't know how many episodes there is. Keep me, the viewer, guessing. The same thing with this series, and as I was watching it, it is a very elaborate scheme as far as the heist. Okay, there's a lot of moving parts. Is this show perfect? No. Often, this is a non-spoilers review, so there are the criminal have basically taken hostage and holding up the reserve, the mint that print euros, and there's a few things. I'm not familiar with how the mints are controlled or run in Spain, so who knows, but it seemed to be very low insecurities. Regardless, the criminal element have a big team inside the mint and one head guy controlling the operation outside, and he pulled all the strings, which is okay. This is a very elaborate scheme with many moving parts, and as I was watching the show, I feel like it's like a leaky dam, where the dam is leaking and the head guy is trying to plug the hole with his finger. So it seemed like every time he plugged a hole to prevent the plan to go bad, something else happened. He need to plug another hole. So it's that kind of show. Okay, so I enjoyed it. Okay, it seemed almost too elaborate, because one of the things that probably that I did not like is the relationship between the head investigator and her right hand person. Often the criminal element is one step ahead of them, and they couldn't figure it out that they had been bugged, because everything they discuss and plan, the criminals know what they're doing and they stay one step ahead to try to not get caught. But it is almost frustrating to see that these two people couldn't figure it out, that their conversation are being bugged. Instead, they blame each other, like, no, you the traitor. That part of the show I did not care for, especially when the blaming boil over. It's to me, it's just like, haven't anybody even considered that the office had been bugged so that they can hear what you are saying. But like I said, that's probably one of the few negative point of the show. The acting is solid. What surprised me was the last episode, 13. When the 13th episode play, I was surprised. I was surprised that they were able to carry this series this far along and kept me interested, because there's a lot of interpersonal story between each one of the cast, as far as the heist people. There's a lot of interrelationship that was, I think, well developed and well told to keep the show interesting. This show, surprised me in that when I watched the 13 episodes and it's finished, I found out that that's the end of the season. There's going to be a season 2. I thought for sure, as I was watching that last episode, I thought the story is going to be resolved, but it did not. So that was the biggest surprise for me. I'm just like, really? They are stretching this to season 2? Okay. All right. I will come back and watch season 2 whenever that came around. So I recommend this show if you are a fan of crime, heist kind of TV show. Give this a shot. Like Casa, the Papel. I think the translation is the house of paper. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.